The Conjuring Last Rites is the final entry, supposedly, in the main series Conjuring franchise featuring Ed and Lorraine Warren. Are we going to get more Annabelles, more nuns, Annabelle versus the nun, whatever bullshit? Probably. But this serves as a send-off for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who I really enjoy as these fictionalized versions of these characters. I think the first two films are great. I actually go back and forth on which one I like more. Probably the first one, but there's a lot that I really like about the second one too. Annabelle Creation is okay. It has its moments. Very, very light on story. Ending super anticlimactic and convoluted, but it's okay. Every other film in this franchise is a waste of time. They're all the same thing over and over again, trying to recreate what The Conjuring did without James Wan behind the camera to actually know how to do it. And this movie in particular is directed by the same guy who directed The Curse of La Llorona, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and The Nun 2, which means I had no hope in it, because I don't think any of those are very good at all. And what I can say about Last Rites is it's the best movie that Michael Chaves has made, but it's still only just fine? Like, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he is passionate about these movies and he's trying to do what James Wan does and he's just not as good at it. I don't know if he's just doing this for a paycheck. I have nothing against the man as a human, but fuck, imagine just doing a bad job over and over and over again, and then you get hired to do the next job too. What a comfy position to be in life. Because to the people in charge, he didn't do a bad job because the movies made money and that's all that matters. So this is the best of his four, but it is still very much a Michael Chaves Conjuring film. You kind of know what it's going to be. The only thing that had me actually curious to see it is the fact that it is the send-off for these lead characters. So maybe, even though I didn't expect anything good in the scares department, maybe we can have a solid story, solid character moments, and I could feel like these characters were sent off well. And the best thing about the movie are the performances in these characters. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are great together. They have great chemistry. They're at a stage in their life where they're not old, but they've done a whole lot of this shit, and it's about time they start taking it easy for their health. Their daughter is older. She's dating this guy. She's kind of settling into her own life, so they're at this next stage in their lives, and it's nice seeing them there and how they're going to reconcile their daughter's abilities and what she wants to do, their own health and well-being, trying to help other people. It's just nice seeing them as a family. Mia Tomlinson plays the daughter this time, and she was good. It's done well as a send-off for them. If you're a fan of these movies or these characters, this is a serviceable finale character-wise. There were these couple of teenage or early 20-something girls sitting next to me, and they seemed to absolutely love it. Anytime anything jumped, they freaked out, had her like hands over her face, and just was constantly on edge at the possibility of literally anything being on the screen. And if you're that type of horror viewer where just the concept of a horror movie will frighten you, then this is a horror movie. Here you go. If you're looking for anything unique or memorable or particularly well done about the scares, I did jump a couple times. They weren't these like expertly crafted, memorable scenes. They were just jumps. But some jump scares are better than others, and there were a couple that did genuinely get me. But for the most part, it's a lot of jump scares. They're very predictable, they're not effective. Even the more subtle scares are ones that we have seen time and time again, either in other franchises or even in this one. There's a shot that seemed like it was right out of Hereditary, but Hereditary did it better. There's a setup for a scare in a kitchen, and when this was happening, I actually rolled my eyes. I was like, there is no way. Of course, the girl next to me was like, oh my God, no. I'm like, have you seen a movie before? I have seen this exact setup for a scare in so many movies. I was like, I cannot believe you're actually doing this. And a lot of the scares are rendered really ineffectual because of bad CGI. When one of the trailers came out, people really latched on to this one particular shot of the ghoul looking all nasty CGI. And yeah, that's what they tend to look like throughout the film. So it really takes away the tension when you can't actually believe that whatever it is there. Like, imagine in the first Conjuring, when it pans up to the top of the wardrobe and you see the lady on top of it and she jumps down. Imagine if she was a cartoon. All the effectiveness would be gone. And as far as the actual entities themselves and the lore, I expected a lot more. Every single one of these movies is advertised as the most terrifying case the Warrens ever faced. It's like, oh really? Again? But this one in particular is like really advertised that way. And this is the case that was so different and that ended their careers and it could ruin them. And it's like, it's just another demon. It's just a demon again. We did this before. It's fine. It's not any different. There's literally a line where Patrick Wilson says, I don't know, this one feels different. You can't just have a character say that. You have to actually sell that. You have to make me believe it's different. It's just another demon. When you actually get the backstory and the lore behind it, it's very simplistic, doesn't stand out at all, nowhere near the level of the first two films. I guess more so than the lady in the third one, because she was just some lady. But for the big final send-off, I really expected more. They try to tie the demon into the Warrens' past, and that's kind of their excuse for why we should take it more seriously. But that doesn't really matter, like whether or not they had met it before. It would still be here now, and we would still have to deal with it now. It doesn't really change anything. Their daughter is more involved this time. The family is more involved. So sure, an extra person is in danger. But in terms of the scares and the antagonists, I expected a whole lot more. Annabelle gets multiple scenes devoted to her. I am so sick of that bitch. She has never been scary. She got 3 entire movies devoted to her before The Conjuring even had 3 movies. One of them is okay. We as a society have moved on from Annabelle. I don't need to see her or hear from her ever again. I'm blocking her number. I guess they thought it would be a treat for fans. Oh, we gotta put Annabelle in the movie. We gotta have some scare scenes with Annabelle where she does some weird CGI transformations that are not scary. But no, just focus on this story. Focus on doing new things. Stop rehashing. We've seen it. And outside of the character work, which this movie does spend a good amount of time focused on its characters, which I appreciated, it's been there, done that. This franchise has thoroughly run its course. There's only so many things you can do. There's an entity, and it's gonna possess ya. It's gonna throw things across the room. It's gonna pop out and go boo. We've done it. This is the longest film in the franchise by 1 minute. It is a minute longer than Conjuring 2, and it really didn't need to be. I wouldn't say that I was bored, because I'm invested in these versions of these characters. But it takes a really long time for the Warrens to actually start investigating the main case of the movie and helping this family who needs help. It takes a long time for those stories to merge. And I know you want to do a lot of character work and focus on the Warrens, and I appreciate that. I appreciate this movie does actually spend a lot of time dealing with its characters. But where I think the pacing is affected is the fact that all this time spent with that family was spent with me not caring about them at all. There are 8 members of this family, and I legitimately never learned a single one of their names. The only reason I know there were 8 is because there was a line of dialogue that specifically said so. If you had asked me to do a head count, I probably would have gotten confused. Like, wait a minute, did I already count her? Is that the same girl that was over there? Does she move to the other side of the room? Is that a different girl? Because there was barely any character to almost any of them. They all blended together into one nameless, faceless blob. Most of them were irrelevant. And the few that were more relevant, even they didn't have anything interesting to them at all. The first movie had a pretty big family, but they were memorable, and most of them distinguishable. But this is just no effort at all put into making me care about these people or feel tension for their safety. So I'm just waiting for the 2 storylines to converge. There's also a storyline with the Warrens' daughter and her boyfriend, and it's the most cliche storyline you could possibly do with a father and daughter character. The guy is like a super nice guy, and he just wants to date the daughter, but the dad, he's overprotective, and he's not sure about his daughter dating a boy. Oh no, it's just that. The thing you've seen in every movie that has ever been made in the history of planet Earth. It's that. And so maybe that affected the pacing a little bit too, because I was like, oh wow, I wonder if he's not gonna like the boyfriend at first because he's being too protective, and then he will grow to like him more. I can't believe it. What an arc, what a journey we have been on here today. There's a line in this movie where Patrick Wilson goes to his doctor, and the doctor tells him that he should incorporate more fish into his diet, and Patrick Wilson says, "I'm not really a fish guy, Doc." Was that intentional? Probably not, but I don't know. Also, what the hell is going on with this poster? That is a choice. So overall, it's exactly what you expect. Michael Chaves made another one of these. It's the best of the ones that he's made. After Annabelle Creation, this is probably my favorite, but it's the first two, Annabelle Creation, and then after that, I really don't care at all. But out of all the ones that I don't care about at all, this is the one I don't care about at all the least. It's totally watchable send-off to these characters if you're a fan, but I'm never gonna watch it again. So I don't know what the future holds for this franchise. I mean, at this point, you know, they're just ghost movies, they're just demon movies. You could make any ghost or demon movie and just say that it's in the Conjuring universe. It doesn't matter. But just maybe get a new director, maybe get some fresh ideas, or just stop. What's James Wan up to? Can I have a Malignant 2 or something? Anything? Please? Where'd you go, man? I know he's working on Saw. Whatever they're doing with that, I don't think he's gonna direct that. I just need whatever he's gonna do next. I care so much more about that. If they do more in this franchise, I think I would be perfectly satisfied avoiding whatever it is, unless there's an entire new creative team on board. But those are all my thoughts on The Conjuring Last Rites. Inoffensive, especially compared to some of the other sequels. I really hate The Nun and Annabelle Comes Home. Annabelle Comes Home is not a popular movie, but I don't usually see it at the bottom of people's lists. For me, that is actually my least favorite in the franchise. I hate Annabelle Comes Home. This is nowhere near as offensive as any of that, but it's also not special in any way. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, whether you agree or disagree with anything I said. We can talk about it down there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more from me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one.